Today we meet our member Laura. Laura spent 3 months travelling around Europe in her 25-year-old Caravan with her then 5-month-old baby daughter. Here she shares with us her words of wisdom and advice to help other parents who would love to caravan with their family. What were the main challenges of camping then with a baby?
So I think mainly it was the setup day and kind of having somebody constantly keep an eye on her, and that just got harder as the time went on rather than easier because we got better at setting everything up and we kind of worked out what our own jobs were going to be and just cracked on with them. But the more mobile she got, the harder it was to kind of put her in one place and just let her entertain herself for an hour while we did all the awning and things. And yeah, so to begin with, we could just put her in a baby bouncer and stick her in the corner of the pitch, and she'd kind of amuse herself. If we'd got the timings right, we'd naps and feeds and everything else. And yeah, and then once she started tipping over the bouncer and kind of eating leaves, we kind of had to find another solution after that. So some of it was tag teaming, and some of it was we had friendly people on the pitch next door that would be like, "Oh, can we just hold your baby?" Yes, please.
Is there one thing that you took which made it so much easier travelling with an infant when you're caravanning? I mean, you mentioned your baby bouncer earlier. Was there something like that you thought this was a godsend?
Yes, so I'd bought like an off-road buggy, and I think that's one of the luxuries that we could take that you probably couldn't do if you were backpacking, or you would risk airlines breaking it. But for us to have somewhere that we could put her down for naps every day, so she had somewhere consistent, and it meant that we could just carry on doing what we're doing, and she could still stretch out, particularly in the heat. Was brilliant for us, and of course you can then use it as a trolley and load it up with all manner of stuff and want to be have her in the sling if you're moving things around or you're going to the beach and you've got tons and tons of baby stuff. So yeah, we had a City Mini GT.
When you're packing up and you're moving on, even though she was so young, kids can still sense that you're moving, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did she
Yeah.
show any signs of sort of anxiety when it was moving day?
No, I don't think so because everything was kind of consistent for her. So she was always getting in the same car, getting in the same car seat. She was always in the same buggy. We had like a sleepy head sleeping pod thing on the bottom bunk of the caravan. So she always had the same bed. So I think for her it was never really any different. I think we go out and do more different things every day than she was used to at home. But when they're that age and they're developing, then it's just more interesting stuff to see. So I don't think she ever really got kind of anxious about the move. There were days when she definitely had enough of the car. And yeah, transfer days tended to get a bit fraught if we kind of found we couldn't really do more than about 250, 300 miles because you can only go slowly with a caravan anyway. And by the time you've kind of put her places to pack everything up, and then you've been in the car for however long, and then you're kind of doing the other side, she definitely got ratty. But I wouldn't say she was ever kind of anxious about moving. Yeah, so we tried to do a kind of 5, 6, 7 days in one place at a time. And then if we needed to do particularly long journeys, then we'd break it and kind of do 2 days in one place before we kind of went on to the next place. And part of that was you can't just stop somewhere with a caravan. So you can't break the journey by just going, oh, we'll pop here for lunch, because you can't park it and leave it anywhere to just do a day trip or an afternoon sightseeing. So you kind of have to drive to where you're going, have one night, have a full day of sightseeing, leaving it on a caravan park, and then the next night, and then going the next day. So it was very rare, really, that we were just staying in places for a couple of days unless we were breaking up a long journey. We kind of planned it always so that we were spending kind of 5, 6, 7 days at a place at a time.
What words of wisdom can you share with other parents who are maybe considering a caravan holiday like this, or travelling longer term like you did?
So I'd say if you're planning on doing a caravan holiday, then think about the kind of space that you need, because there's quite a lot of different layouts of caravans. It doesn't help that we were buying one secondhand and on a budget, because we kind of had to go with whatever was available at the time. But you can get kind of different layouts that give you kind of different spaces in terms of your bed, where the children sleep, whether you have a living area and things. And while we got the layout right, I think our bed wasn't particularly big. And therefore, if we were having a bad night and we had to bring her in to co-sleep, we were all kind of really penned in. And when it's 40 degrees and it's July and August in Sardinia, there's a heat wave. That was a bit of a struggle. So if you've got really tinies, then think about how big your bed is and whether you're going to have them in bed with you. Is there anything else with caravanning? Definitely kind of practice the driving and reversing and parking and things before you go. So we didn't manage to get a caravan until quite late on before we left. So we hadn't really practiced that. By the end of it, Simon was an absolute pro and he can get a caravan in anywhere. But we definitely had a few hairy moments where we just weren't aware of the, you kind of aware of the kind of the dimensions of what you're driving and kind of how confident you are getting through gaps or how tight the corner you can take, head to the window. Oh, Evelyn. So yeah, kind of making sure that you're confident driving a caravan, making sure that the caravan works for you, I suppose, is the other thing. And then the same with, is with any traveling with babies is kind of make sure you take some entertainment because you're going to be sat inside at night and you're going to be bored. We took like the whole 6-7 series of Sopranos with us because we'd never seen it, and we worked through all of those in the space of like 12 weeks.